people knew that space was going to be where it happened. And so there was a lot of pressure to do what needed to be done.
In the beginning, it was just too hectic to think about myself. I had one child right after another. I didn't have time to think of what I wanted. But then when my daughters all got in school and I had this time to myself, I thought, gosh, I would really like to be part of the space program.
I got involved in a science fair, the first ever one, I think, here at Titusville High School. And I will tell you that my father had a hand in this because he did some things to help. But I had a display of a rocket engine. And the Army Ballistic Missile Agency had people at that science fair. And when that science fair got over, I was offered a job at the Army Ballistic Missile Agency at Cape Canaveral.
My husband looked at me and he said, "What could you do? You couldn't make enough money to buy your own Kotex." That's all the motivation I needed. We were divorced shortly after that, and I was a single mother raising 3 daughters on my own with very little monetary assistance. And I just knew I had to make it.
A launch every 3rd or 4th day, or a test every day. I was a civilian employee, and I got to be a technician. My first impression was it was kind of like a big family. I was really taken in. I was the youngest guy by far, 17 years old. And I didn't know A from Z, but they were willing to teach me. It was special. They cared about whether I was going to be successful or not.
I took a job as a Kelly girl, and you probably don't know what that is. It was a temporary position, and usually it was a temporary either typist or secretary. I got several jobs with different contractors. They would last anywhere from 3 months to 6 months. And finally I got a job with IBM. I liked the way they treated people. I liked the company, the atmosphere, and they offered me a full-time job. And that turned out to be a wonderful blessing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States. The momentum thus gained accelerates today under the civilian management of the new National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Marvel as we will at these technical achievements, we must not overlook this truth. All that we have already accomplished, and all in the future that we shall achieve, is the outgrowth not of a soulless, barren technology, nor of a grasping state imperialism.
Well, speaking of bombs, what is it that makes America the world's greatest nuclear power? And what is it that will make it possible for us to spend $20,000 million of our taxpayers' money to put some idiot on the moon? Well, it was the great, enormous superiority of American technology, of course, as provided by our great American scientists, such as Dr. Werner von Braun. Gather round while I sing you of Werner von Braun, a man whose allegiance is ruled by expedience, call him a Nazi, he won't even frown. Nazi Shmazi, says Werner von Braun. Don't say that he's hypocritical, say rather that he's apolitical. Once the rockets are up, who cares where they come down? That's not my department, says Werner von Braun. Some have harsh words for this man of renown, but some think our attitude should be one of gratitude, like the widows and cripples in old London town, who owe their large pensions to Werner von Braun. You too may be a big hero once you've learned to count backwards to zero. In German or English, I know how to count down. And I'm learning Chinese, says Werner von Braun.
Alexei, tell us something interesting.
Okay, the Earth is flat.